Hey, people, this is Sandy or Shawnee or Sauna. He looks like he's heading down a Mardi Gras. Him and his crow got their beads on. He's dark blue or black. And with that mustache, you could tell that that's where the Italians originate, was India. And they're not going to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you this is where your word sanitize come from. And it refers to the planet Saturn. You know, Saturn is Saturday, Sabbath, the hot bath day. Everybody knows that Saturday's bath day. You know, and it's cleanup, your cleanup batter, the last day. Sunday starts the week. Saturday is the cleanup day. Usually carries a sword or a danda, scepter, and sitting on a crow. He's the god of karma and justice, retribution, and delivers results depending on one's thoughts, speech, and deeds. And I just learned this, that the Babylonian astrology was the first astrology, and it's where the Vedas come from. This is also where this word Santorini come from. They'll tell you that it was the Latins that had named this Santorini in the 13th century. And they'll say they named it after Saint Irene. And they'll tell you Irene is a Greek name. And most of the world will tell you they thought Irene was an Irish name. But yeah, I'm sure it was Greek-Irish. And so this ancient island set out here, with this big volcano. And it got blowed away 3,600 years ago or so. But there was civilization before that. And they dug up complexes of multi-level buildings, streets and squares, with excellent masonry and fine wall paintings. The town had a highly developed drainage system, and judging from the fine artwork, its citizens were clearly sophisticated and relatively wealthy people. They had pipes running water and water closets, and twin pipes. They had hot and cold running water. Oldest known hot and cold running water. Thus the name sanitary. So I believe this word they have Orini here. This isn't Irene. Although it comes from the same word they call Irene. It's Santa, the Santa to clean, and renew. This is your French and other languages. And it means reincarnation is where that comes from. Rene. And it'll be spelt different in the Greek. It'll be RHNH. But they'll say it's the same word, Irene. And that word comes up here, Revelations 1:4. This Irene, EIRHNH. And they say it means peace, Irene, everywhere. And that just sounds all backwards. There's nothing peaceful about a siren. Coming from the old sea nymph who sings lures to sailors to their destruction. And if you look at that backwards, near, N-E-R, near is or in. Near is or in. You're getting too close to the rocks and ring the siren. And so it's pretty much opposite of peace. And the other name comes up, but you don't see it. But what you do see here is Joanna's. There is no John. It's Joan. Joannes. And ness is a quality. It's like an adjective. And Joanne, they'll say this means a gift of God, like every other name you look up almost. But the on is, they'll say the Joe part is God, short for Yahweh. But it's not. The on is the ancient part of above, of the place of the gods. The on annuals, the time, the annas. And Joe is, to make the circle, the gods. But what this word means is Joanna. And I haven't found it yet, but I believe Joanna means the mother-in-law that comes by and cleans the house. She knows her daughter can't clean house, and she comes by every 2 days and cleans the house and takes care of the kids for you. That's a Joanna. And I get that from Anna. Anna's his mother, Anna's grandmother. But it's also where that word sanitary comes from when you come back the second time and read it backwards. It's Santa, Oya. Oya means to straighten, the sanitary to clean, the Oya to straighten, Anna, the mother. And so the double Anna that way, it'd make it the grandmother. The grandmother is to clean up. Saturn coming by. So they'll tell you this is the word John, and they'll say that this, the beginning of the chapter that comes right after the prologue. This book looks like this. It starts with the prologue, and then the first thing it does is put his name here. And nowhere in the world is there a book where an author starts with his name right after the prologue. Nowhere in the world. But this does give all the reason of this letter in this one word here. It says a lot, but on the top it is yawns. Y-O-A-N-N-H-S. And it's a way of spelling yawns. And what it means, it's a uppity way of somebody saying, I've heard enough. Yawns. This is getting really old. It's time. It's time for a sanitary. It's been too long since Joanna came by and yawns. Oh, I'm bored with it. And that's what he's telling to the churches, It's been too long now. It's time for a change. So you can't see it here. You have to look in this Berean Bible, and you can see where to split the lines up. See, they'll run them paragraph. They'll mix the lines in. Even at the end of a sentence, at the end of a paragraph, they'll put the next paragraph in it. But this lets you know that this word reads, yawns, and then Santa Oya Hannah. Santa Oya Hannah. The mother cleanup. And so it lets you know that this line, it reads through, and then you come back and read here again. And this paragraph, then you'll read to the end of this paragraph before you come back. And yawns to your septiscles, ye is. Your septiscles it is. D-A-Y-A-S-E-P. The sept. And then the A-E becomes the E-S. The septisk. Septisk. And that's where your word septic comes from. Septicos, septisk. And it means septic or rotten. When somebody's dying inside, their body goes septic. And so yawns, tired of, to your septic, to your dead, rotten clesias. The clese, is one who attaches, cle, one attached to the septic. And the ya is, it means you are, the type of people. Ya is, clesias, those type of people. And yawns to you is septicals, clesias. To you sent, S, to you, and then S-E-N-T, the scent it has ya. It smells like it. The S-E-N-T, and then H-T-E-T, it. The scent it has ya. It's been too long to your septicals, clees ya ha. To your scent it has ya. So it's surely talking about the astrology on the top. You can see it in the annas, the annuals, the time. But I'm sure he's making fun of other things in the church at the same time. This line before that, it just ended the prologue with, O jar arose hedges. And I tell you, this jar means the day, and this is of day, whereas, or arose hedges is coming near. And you see here in the Swedish, the igar is yesterday, igar. The gar being the day or the spear. Norwegian, same thing, yesterday. Danish, same thing, yesterday, igar. And so, it's the time is near, and then it's talking about Saturn. And Saturn is Johanna's Anna Oya Anna's. Joanna's mother, Anna's. The Oya to straighten on ness, ness, equality, your highness. And so it's not necessarily Saturn, but it's the qualities of the end of a cycle is what that John means. And so you can't really see it here. You have to look at the other Bible to tell. But this line reads through, and then it comes back to the Tayas and reads again before you go down to the next. So you really can't get anything out of that. And you can see how they divided the lines up, and they split up paragraphs with lines. And so you really can't tell the reading directions when you're reading that. You have to read it here. I like to read it against their interpretation so I can catch words, and so I'll recognize phrases that I hear, and I'll know what they actually mean. But you can see in this form how you read this now. It's the yawns, and then Sana Oya Anna is the time to clean it up. Time to clean up the ages. And to your septiscales, a receptacle. You only find that word, septical only comes in two words, a receptacle, conceptical, and they pretty much mean the same place. It's a cavity where something fits in. The receptors in your nose that smell, and the receptors on your tongue that taste, and the receptor in your kitchen that collects garbage. And so yon sena oyanas to your septiscales is. To your septiscales is. To you're the receptor. To your scent. To your scent it has you. To the smell, you smell like what you're holding. And then, so this lets me know that I read this again with the directional markings before I read this next line. And so when I read it back, I ignore these waves up top, and I'm just reading these other directional markings that have me reading these words backwards and forwards. So, Yawns Hannah Oya Anna, to mother of clean up the cycles. To your septiscles has ye is. To your scent it has ye. So I'm coming back to read here, and so I'm not going to read this line. So it changes this to ya is now to is, and these other words are flipped directions. So it sent it has you to is the fit, the FTA, the fit atop. To it sent it has you to fit atop. To is the fit atop. To is the put atop. The one on top. On the tops. This word's now reading backwards and forwards. To put atops ya is L and then calc. K, and the KE turns into the L, and then back this word where you're hitting the K, and it's the KLK. KL, and it's the calculus ya is. To is the fit atops ya is L calculuses. And so in the calculus stays, S-T-A-Y, stays, and then savin. This reads a B-E-N or a V-E-N. The stay savin. And so in your calculus you stay 7. And so this isn't the 7, this is the savin. S-V-E-N, savin. And then this is now that, T-H-T, and then an extra H now. Reading twice, T-H-T-H. And that haze ya, H-A-Y-S. That haze ya. That haze, and then A-S, hazes you. And then you're bouncing back and forth between these, and it's is. And so, the last thing you read was of the day arose of the pig edges. The day to gig the pig, the time to renew. And then it's Joanna. Yawns Sana Oyana. The mother of cleanup has to your septiscal ecclesia is. To the receptacle attaches you is. The place you fit in. To your scent has you. To is the fit atopsia is. El calculus stays of in the calculus stays of 7. The 7 that haze you, that hazes you is. The 7 that hazes you is. The 7 is the Z knife, the blade, the sickle. Is a saya, S-I-A-I, a saya blade. And you can read down here on Shawnee, and he has all the same qualities that we would associate with Saturn. And so on Saturdays, it's believed that one should worship Lord Shawnee to keep oneself away from evil. Hey, if you spend Saturday worshiping the devil, you won't be out drinking, starting too much trouble, and to reduce the hardships of life. And so it's saying, Saturday is a good day to clean house, to worship the Shawnee, the Sabbath, the bath day to clean up. Wake up early, take your oil bath, wear black clothes for the day, and use the sesame oil for lighting the lamp. Shawnee's known to tote a sword or a danda, or a scepter or trident or axe. And danda's just a stick, and it's a punctuation mark. It means to stop. A danda marks the end of a sentence or a line. It means a full stop, period. The end of the line, period. Hasaya would be a Indian word for a sickle, to harvest the crops. You can see it all throughout this word, hasaya, that hazes you, and that hasaya. So everything about this is talking about, the end of the line, the harvest cycle, the end of its time life. The time is near to gig the pig, the new time. In yawns, Shana Oya Anna, past due, is tired of the Tasana to clean, straighten the years. To your septical see ya is. To your scent has ya. To your scent, the century. And to your scent, the hassia, the sickle. To is the put atop. To put atopsia is L, is Sir Calculusia. Calculusi stays 7. The calculus, the number stays 7. And a stasis is a condition, stasivin. So being this is where this line is supposed to stop, and this all reads separate until here, and then it reads again. That'd be a separate movie.
Don't forget. I won't forget.
Alright, I'm gonna cut this off here. Good day.